Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. This is Abhishek Pradhan, and the topic that I'm going to discuss today is mutual funds. So, mutual funds sahi hai. I'm pretty much sure that you might have heard this phrase. But do you really know what mutual funds actually are? So, in this video, I'm going to tell about what are mutual funds, the types of mutual funds, what are the benefits of mutual funds, and most importantly, what are the risks behind mutual funds. So, let's get started. So for our first topic, we have what are mutual funds. So basically, the term mutual fund is self-explanatory. Mutual means common and fund means capital. So in other words, mutual fund is equals to common capital. So have you ever thought why is this word common associated with mutual funds? That is because mutual fund is a collection of funds gathered from different people, and this collection is termed to be as an AMU. AMU stands for Asset Under Management. So what really happens is there's a platform where people invest on the name of mutual funds. So this platform collects the money from various people and invests it in different sectors for a good return. So it is collecting money from various people. So that's the reason the word collection of common people has been associated. So what happens in this mutual fund is the funds are collected. These funds are being invested for obviously in order to get good returns. But is this investment process that easy? No, it is actually hard. And for that, each specific platform have their own well-trained managers called to be as fund managers. And it is these fund managers who decide how much to invest and where to invest in. So a general overview of mutual fund would be there's a platform which gathers collection funds from people. Then it has its own well-trained fund managers who invest these funds into various sectors or stock markets in order to get good returns. And these good returns are being returned to us. So that is an overview of what is mutual funds. Now, moving on to the type of mutual funds. Broadly, it is being categorized based on two categories. First being asset and second being structure. In asset, it is further being classified into three different types. First is equity mutual funds. So what happens in this equity mutual funds? In equity mutual funds, the funds that are being collected are being invested in stock markets. For example, you need to buy the shares of a good company. You opt for equity mutual funds. Then we have debt mutual fund. So in debt mutual funds, the funds are being invested in government bonds and treasury bills. On a general comparison, debt mutual fund is less riskier and gives less return as compared to equity mutual funds. Then we have hybrid mutual funds. In hybrid mutual fund is nothing but it's a combination of both equity mutual funds and debt mutual funds. The funds in hybrid mutual fund are invested in both equity and debt. Equity in stock market and debt like in government bonds or bills. So on a general comparison, if I would like to compare all these three types of mutual funds in an increasing order based on their risk and return, then it would be debt mutual fund, then we have hybrid mutual fund, then we have equity mutual fund. So in other words, it would be debt mutual fund is less riskier and gives you less return, and whereas equity mutual fund gives you more return but on the cost of high risk. Moving on to the structure category, we again have three subtypes. First being open-ended mutual fund. So in open-ended mutual funds, the investment and selling takes place anytime. So you can invest or sell your stocks whenever you feel like. That is the first one. Second comes the close-ended mutual fund. So what happens in close-ended mutual fund is you can invest only during the starting of the term period and you can only sell when the term period matures. And throughout that time, you can neither invest more nor you can sell your stocks. So that's the description of close-ended mutual fund. Then we have interval funds. So what happens in interval mutual fund is you can invest as well as sell during a particular interval, but not before to that, not prior to that. All the investment and the selling takes place only at that particular time. So these are the 6 types of mutual funds. So based on the condition and requirement of the people, they can invest or choose any of these 6 mutual funds which suits them the best. Now, moving on to the benefits of mutual fund. Well, prior would be no need to study about the fluctuating market and take stress about which field to invest in. That will be your prior most. And the second would be it is comparatively less riskier. Why do I say so? This is because when you invest in mutual fund, the investment is being done into companies in the large number, like hundreds of the companies. So for example, if 2 or 4 of the companies go under bankrupt, so you still have a huge number which is being profiting you. So it is comparatively less riskier. Another fun fact about mutual fund is it follows SIP, which means systematic investment plan. In other words, you have a selected amount of money which you need to invest, maybe monthly, weekly, based on your convenience. So this helps you to plan your expenditure, or I should say plan your budget of your month. So it gives you a better planning and better understanding of analyzing your expenses. Another interesting fact or the advantage of mutual fund is the exemption of the third party or the broker. For example, if you need to invest into any stock or any of the market fields, you need to consult to a broker because he has an understanding, or there might be the investment procedure is rigid, which doesn't allow you to invest directly. So you need to consult through a broker. But when it comes to mutual fund in the present state, we don't face that problem. This is because we have further independent platforms where you can invest in directly without consulting to any broker. So that third party where you have to spend extra percent to him is removed, which means more saving. Let's consider for an example. Now, if you are consulting through a third party, you need to pay him 1.5% to him. Now, when it comes to mutual fund, especially the modernized version of mutual fund, which doesn't have a third party and you can invest directly, you can save that 1%. Well, it just sounds 1%, but when you pile up for 20 to 30 years, the term is in lakhs. So you can do the math. Moving ahead with our benefits, there's a new term added to it. We have compounding. Well, the term compounding with respect to mutual fund means that you save or you invest in your mutual fund for a particular year. And this particular year must be on a long-term basis in order for you to earn higher returns. Mutual fund is one of those investing fields in which even the less experienced, or should I say no experienced person can also start investing and even start earning. This is because the fund managers do all the headache work, whereas we just do the investment. So that's all with the benefits of mutual fund. Now moving on for your most awaited session, the risk behind mutual funds. Well, the first most and the prior most risk would be fear, of course. Well, in our country, the education and the awareness for this mutual fund is way too less. So people are still not educated enough to know what mutual fund actually is and where to invest, what is the procedure behind it. So yeah, lack of information and fear is one of the reasons, one of the drawbacks of investing in mutual funds. Okay, now unlike any other investing platform, even mutual fund is vulnerable to the fluctuating market. When the market is good, you start increasing your profit. But when market crashes, you start making loss. And in order to avoid that, you need to analyze the market carefully and change your tactics. And that might be hard. Another such disadvantage would be if you're looking for a considerable return or a good profitable amount which you've been taking out from your mutual fund, then you need to go on for a long-term investment. And that might take a lot of time. Another vital risk in these types of fund would be the availability of skilled, experienced fund managers. Yeah, skilled and experienced fund managers are really very vital for your profit and loss statement. If you don't get experienced and well absorbed fund managers, no matter how much you invest in, you're always going to end up in losing. Some of the good experienced platforms that provides you with these good fund managers would be like Tata, HDFC, SBI being the oldest, and etc. Some of the tools and platforms from where you can begin investing in mutual funds would be before investing into any funds, you need to analyze the market. And for that, you have these websites called as Money Control and Value Research, through which you can analyze your market status. And even though when you choose any other website, you need to keep in consideration that the website should have at least 4 to 5 star rating. Anything below to that is always considered with a lot of risk. So websites having more than 4 to 5 stars is always advisable. The technological development has brought a revolutionary change in the investment field. This is because gone are those days when you were running behind the broker, requesting him to invest your money in these sectors, accommodating according to his timing, and moreover, you were not certain enough that the broker was giving you your deserved amount. He might have done any fraud, you may never know it. But today, investing in mutual fund is as simple as it can get. This is with the help of using any Android app. You have a lot of Android apps which supports mutual funds investment. For example, you have Grow app, you have Upstocks, you have Angel Broker, and a lot more. Well, for that, one requirement would be you need to create your own Demat account. Well, what is this Demat account? Well, Demat account is a locker which consists of all your data, your analysis, your investment, a track record of all your debts, your investments. It's similar to an Google account. Okay, and in order to create that debit account, it's not always free of cost. There are a lot of apps which gonna charge you a considerable amount, I must say. But the Grow app in particular lets you create your own Demat account free of cost. These were some of the tools and the platforms that might help you to start up your own mutual fund investments. So till now we have discussed about what are mutual funds, what are type of mutual funds, the risk, the benefits, the tools, the platforms to invest in. And now let's further move on and understand why is this mutual fund becoming so popular these days. Well, one of the important and the vital reason would be the diversity of investment. In mutual fund gives you a versatility and the diversity to invest in both private as well as in government sectors. So you have a wide range of options. Then it would be generally considered to be as safe. Mutual funds are generally considered safe. This is because, as I've already told you, when you are investing in 100 companies and suppose 2 or 3 companies of it get loss, but you still have 98 to 97 companies to backing you up with a huge profit. So you still end up getting profitable amount. The buying and selling of funds in mutual funds is considered to be easier. This is because the fund manager takes care of all those tasks and you just have to invest in. Adding another point, the pandemic period has seen a spectacular rise in the number of investment in the marketing sector. So why is this actually? Well, in my point of view, it is because of the opportunity and time. During the pandemic period, we have got an opportunity as well as the sufficient time to analyze the market, to understand the process, to get educated ourselves about this stock market, the funds, the mutual fund investments. So these have really emphasized and made us really understand, yeah, there is no rocket science behind it and it is still easier and we can still, being a common man, we can still invest in it and earn a living. Moreover, it's considered to be as another source of income. So that's all about mutual funds. And with that comes the realization of the limitation of time. So it's time to say goodbye. But wait, stay tuned for our next upcoming video because in it, we are going to discuss about another important topic, that is insurance. What is insurance? Type of insurance, principles, risk, benefits, and most importantly, how to choose a good insurance. So till then, stay tuned, be safe.